Have you ever just stared at a chart that's full of lines and numbers and thought, what am I even looking at here? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, today we're going to turn all that confusion into confidence. We're going to learn how to take raw data and weave it into a really clear, concise, and powerful story.
Looking at a graph like this one, it can feel a bit overwhelming, right? You've got solid lines, you've got dotted lines, things are going up, they're going down, but here's the thing. Hidden inside all of that is a pretty simple story. The real question is, how do you find that story? And maybe more importantly, how do you write about it? That's exactly what we're going to master today.
And here's our game plan. First, we'll get clear on what an analytical paragraph even is. Then I'm going to give you a super simple 3-part formula that, trust me, works every single time. After that, we'll stock up your toolkit with all the right language. We'll actually write a paragraph together step by step. And finally, I'll show you the examiner's checklist so you know exactly how to nail those full marks.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can write a killer analytical paragraph, we have to be absolutely crystal clear on what it actually is. Think of this as the foundation for everything else we're going to do. Getting this right is a huge skill, especially since we're surrounded by data everywhere we look.
To put it simply, it's a short piece of writing where you basically become a data detective. Your job is to look at a chart, pull out the most important facts, the key clues, and just describe them. You're not making up a story. You're just reporting on this story the data is already telling you.
Now this slide, this is your rule book. Think of it as your cheat sheet for success. You have to stick to the facts. So no, I think, or in my opinion. You want to use language that's super clear and simple. And here are the 2 biggest rules. You've got to stay within that 100 to 120 word limit and absolutely, positively, no personal feelings. You are a neutral reporter, just the facts.
So you might be wondering, how do I fit all of that into one short paragraph? It might sound a little tricky, but the good news is there's a simple, repeatable structure. This is your blueprint for success.
And there it is, just 3 simple steps: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Seriously, if you can master these 3 parts, you can write a perfect analytical paragraph about any chart or graph they throw at you. So let's break each one down.
Step 1, the intro. This is your opening. Your only job here is to tell the reader exactly what they're looking at, and you do it in just 1 or 2 quick sentences. Something as easy as, the line graph shows, or this pie chart illustrates. That's it. You've set the stage perfectly.
All right, next up is the body. And this is where the real magic happens. This is going to be the longest part of your paragraph. Your goal here is to point out the most important trends and details. You want to organize the information in a way that makes sense, compare different pieces of data, and back it all up with actual numbers from the chart. And finally, we have the conclusion. This is your closing statement. All you do here is summarize the single biggest idea you get from the data. What's the main takeaway? State it clearly. And remember those big rules. You can't add any new information here, and you've got to resist that urge to share your own thoughts. Okay, so now you've got the structure, but what words do you actually use? I mean, knowing the formula is one thing, but having the right vocabulary is what really makes your analysis pop. So let's build your data talk toolkit. So instead of just saying it went up, how much better does it sound to say sales skyrocketed or peaked? Instead of it went down, you could say it plummeted or declined. And if something just stays the same, well, it leveled off or stagnated. See? These words paint a much clearer picture for your reader.
And talking about numbers doesn't have to be boring or repetitive. Instead of just listing the raw figures over and over, you can mix it up. You can use percentages, fractions, or even approximations like roughly or almost. This is going to make your writing sound way more sophisticated and honestly just easier to read.
Now this is the good stuff. These words are like the glue that holds your whole analysis together. Using words like similarly or in contrast with lets you connect different data points and really show the relationships between them. This is how you go from just listing facts to actually analyzing the data. It's a game changer.
Okay, theory time is over. We've got the formula and we've got the words. Now it's time to put it all together. Let's actually walk through an example, step by step, and build a high-scoring analytical paragraph right from scratch. All right, let's dive in. Here's our example. We've got a double line graph showing the number of kitchen items sold by 2 different stores, Store P and Store Q. Along the bottom, you can see 5 different products. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to tell the story of this graph in about 100 words. Let's do it.
Let's kick things off with our introduction. Remember, we just need one sentence that explains what the graph is about. This sentence right here, it's perfect. It tells us the type of graph, what it's about, who's being compared, and the context. A flawless start.
Now on to the body. We always start with the biggest, most obvious trend. A quick look shows that the dotted line, which is store Q, is generally higher than the solid line for store P. So we state that first. Store Q had better sales. Then we back it up with specific evidence, naming the products where Q did better and quantifying its biggest win, the hand blender, with around 90 sold. We keep building the body by showing the other side of the story. Notice that great transition phrase, on the other hand? It's perfect for this. We give store P its credit, pointing out where it did well. Toasters and kettles. And we give the number for its best seller, the kettle, at 60. Just like that, we've covered the key comparisons.
And to wrap it all up, the conclusion. We just summarized the main takeaway. What's the big picture here? Well, it's that different customers like different items, but the single most important finding is that store Q was the overall winner. It's a nice, neat summary that doesn't add any new facts or opinions. Job done.
Look, writing a good paragraph is great, but getting full marks, that's the real goal. And to do that, you need to think like an examiner. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the official marking scheme to see exactly where those points come from.
And here's the breakdown. See? 2 marks are just for your content. Did you actually spot the main trends? 2 marks are for organization. Does it flow logically with that intro body conclusion structure we talked about? And that last easy mark is just for accuracy. No spelling or grammar mistakes. Knowing this helps you focus on what really matters.
And finally, before you go, let's cover a few pro tips to really lock in those top marks. Please stick to the word count. Don't waste time adding a title, and make sure to use that awesome, varied language from your toolkit. And hey, don't forget that presentation matters. A clean, easy-to-read paragraph always makes a better impression. And there you have it. You now have the definition, the formula, the language, and even the examiner's secrets. You've seen exactly how to build a paragraph from the ground up. The next time you see a chart or a graph, you're not going to see confusing data. You're going to see a story. And now you know exactly how to tell it.